world's going to be a changed place. And we have to ask ourselves, are we ready for that? I don't believe that most of us will survive the initial aftermath. But to those that do, we're going to have to be strong, we're going to have to be smart, we're going to have to be decisive. The time for hesitation, indecisiveness, and fear will be past, well past. There's nothing to fear. My heart's right. If I die, I go home. If I don't, I live on. So when SHTF does happen, are you going to be ready? If it struck right now with me driving down the road, an EMP, anything that causes loss of power, got my device, my car to go down, well, I guess first of all, I'd stop recording. But second, I at least have a little plan. And I am armed, as I always am. And I do carry around 2 weeks supply survival kit in my trunk. It's in the form of a bug-out bag / backpack that has 2 weeks supply of food. Now I am limited to a 1 week supply of water, but I also have a lot of other devices in there that can help me purify water, that can help me start a fire, that can help me survive if it was a cold and rainy night. That kit didn't cost me much. It cost me about $90 to put together. But it's a pretty nice peace of mind knowing that if it went down right now, that I would make it home, or unless someone killed me along the way there, I certainly would not die of starvation, nor would I die of thirst, and nor would I be accosted unarmed. I am armed and I will use it. Generally carry my Browning High Power 9. It's 9+P plus, and I like my bullets a little different from it for it. The 9+P, any gun that's rated for a 9+P, can handle much higher pressures than a standard 9. So I load my 9s with a Magnum primer. Probably a lot of you have tried that before. I use a Magnum primer, and I've been using unique powder because I like the way it burns. I like the velocities and the impact I get out of it. But it basically is loaded up like a 9mm Magnum at that point, and it will protect me because it will hit exactly what I pointed at. Now I hope the SHTF never comes and that I'm just being paranoid. I hope we all are. And I even try to tell myself that sometimes. But when I stand back and look, and I watch the news, the real news, when we hear the real facts of what's going on and we get to look deeper into some of these issues, then I don't see any other way. I believe the world is going to change, it's going to reset, and it's going to do that soon. There are, 7 billion people in the world? Something I haven't been keeping up with. It has been way too many. And don't get me wrong, I don't wish harm on anyone. But I'm saying this population is going to thin itself out. Only the strong, the prepared, the smart, the decisive will survive, at least long enough to see what the reset brings. The reset could bring great things, it could bring terrible things. We're going to have terrible things. We're going to have some great people doing great things too. A lot of it depends on who you align yourself with, because as much as we like to say it, we're not going to survive this alone. And you're going to be able to survive a long time alone, but you really need somebody, just for the physical companionship, for the mental stimulation of having a human to talk to. There will be a lot of groups formed shortly after SHTF, when the reset begins. And those groups may not always be your friend. Sometimes the only way groups of people will be able to support themselves is by taking what others have. Taking what you got and then doing away with you, so they don't have to support you. And that's something that we have to be careful of. There will be two different types of people. The people that cherish, that relish a world without the rule of law. And then there will be those that try to establish the rule of law. people that live there, I felt bad for them, for their situation, because there's no one there to stop anyone from doing anything in some places in this world. And right now we see that on TV every day when you turn on the news. Rule of law is important, and to reestablish it after SHTF is going to be important, but you can't do that alone. That will require a group of people, and probably a large group. And these people will have to be dedicated, because to establish the rule of law, we will have to give up some things. I don't mean a lot, but what I mean is we'll have to follow the laws we establish. There will be people who fight those laws, who buck the system, just as there are now. There will be groups that have no respect for others or even themselves. Because to intentionally go out and inflict harm